Welcome to Stoic Inner Power, where we explore the ancient wisdom that transforms ordinary men into figures of immense strength. In a world obsessed with superficial status and loud attention, the high-value man is defined by something far deeper. His worth is not measured by the car he drives, but by the unshakable fortress he builds within his mind. While the masses scramble for validation and fleeting pleasures, the Stoic man operates on a completely different frequency of existence. He embodies the ancient virtues of resilience and self-mastery, becoming a rock that the waves of chaos simply break against. Today, we will uncover 6 specific habits that instantly elevate you into this realm of high value and Stoic mindset. These are not quick fixes, but profound shifts in character that demand your full attention and your absolute commitment to change. By adopting these habits, you stop chasing success and instead attract it through the sheer force of your disciplined character. Let us begin this journey of transformation, leaving behind the weak version of yourself to forge a new, stronger identity. The first habit is emotional sovereignty, which is the foundation of all true power and the mark of a leader. Emotional sovereignty means you hold the keys to your inner state, refusing to hand them over to anyone else outside. Most men are slaves to their environment, reacting impulsively to every insult, every setback, and every piece of bad news. When you allow others to control your emotions, you become a puppet, dancing to the tune of their chaotic whims. A high-value man realizes that he cannot control the world, but he has absolute authority over his own mind. Imagine yourself as that cliff, where the waves of other people's opinions crash against you, but never erode your foundation. This does not mean you suppress your feelings, but rather that you do not let them dictate your external actions. When chaos erupts around you, your calmness becomes a superpower that attracts respect and signals high status to everyone watching. People naturally look to the man who keeps his head when everyone else is losing theirs in panic and fear. Be the lighthouse, not the flickering candle. Provide stability for those around you by mastering your own emotional, internal landscape. True power is the ability to walk away from a conflict that does not serve your higher purpose or goals. Marcus Aurelius taught us that we have power over our minds, not outside events. Realize this, and you find strength. Practice this sovereignty daily. When triggered, pause, breathe, and choose a response that aligns with your highest self. This pause between stimulus and response is where your freedom lies, and where your growth as a man truly begins. Accept the weather of life, whether it is sunny or stormy, and maintain your composure regardless of the external conditions. By mastering emotional sovereignty, you become the anchor in your own life, unmovable by the currents of temporary feelings. The second habit is ruthless self-discipline, which acts as the engine that drives all high-value achievements and success. Discipline is often misunderstood as punishment, but for the Stoic, it is the highest form of self-love possible. It means loving your future self enough to sacrifice your present comfort, choosing the hard path over the easy one. The modern world is designed to make you weak, offering endless distractions and instant gratification at every single turn. To be high value, you must ruthlessly cut out these distractions and impose a strict structure upon your daily life. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build self-respect. Every time you break one, you weaken it. Think of discipline as the hammer that forges your character in the fire of effort, removing impurities and weaknesses. It is about doing what needs to be done, even when you do not feel like doing it at all. The high-value man does not rely on motivation, which is fleeting. He relies on habits, which are reliable. This ruthless discipline extends to your thoughts, your diet, your finances, and how you spend every minute of your day. Small acts of discipline compound over time, creating a massive gap between you and the average man who drifts. You must become the strict master of your own destiny, commanding your body and mind to obey your higher will. When you conquer yourself, you conquer the world, for there is no enemy outside that can harm the disciplined mind. Sharpen your will like a blade, and use it to cut through the excuses that hold you back from greatness. Rest is also discipline, knowing when to recharge so you can attack the next day with full force and vigor. Start today. Choose one area of your life to apply ruthless discipline and watch how it transforms your entire reality. The third habit is silent purpose, a trait that distinguishes the true achiever from the loud dreamer who never acts. We live in a culture of oversharing, where every plan is announced and every meal is posted for public validation. The high-value man understands that talking about his goals dissipates the energy needed to actually achieve and complete them. The lion does not need to roar to prove its power, just as the purposeful man does not need to brag. Build in silence. Let your results speak so loudly that they drown out the noise of those who only talk. When you keep your purpose silent, you protect your vision from the doubt and negativity of small-minded people around you. Silence creates an air of mystery. People become intrigued by what you are doing because you are not broadcasting it. Focus your energy on execution. The grind should be private, and only the victory should be public for all to see. Shock the world with your results. Let them wonder how you did it while they were busy talking about doing it. Your public life is the tip of the iceberg, but your silent purpose is the massive foundation that supports it all. There is a sacred power in secrecy. It builds internal pressure that propels you forward like steam in an engine. Growth happens in the dark. Do not be afraid of obscurity, for it is the fertile soil where greatness is cultivated. Move like a grandmaster in chess. Make your moves in silence, and let the checkmate be the only announcement needed. Embrace the solitude of your mission, knowing that the strongest walks are often walked alone until the destination is reached. The fourth habit is emotional discipline, which differs from sovereignty by focusing on how you process and interpret your feelings. While sovereignty is about control, discipline is about logic. It is the ability to observe emotions as mere data points. You must learn to separate the raw feeling from the reaction, inserting a filter of reason before you ever act. When anger rises, do not suppress it, but analyze it. Ask yourself why it is there and if it is useful. Treat your emotions like a scientist treats an experiment, with curiosity and detachment, rather than being consumed by the drama. A high-value man does not make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. He waits for the storm to pass first. This discipline prevents you from saying things you regret and burning bridges that took you years to build up. Balance your passion with your reason. Let your heart provide the fuel, but let your mind always steer the wheel. Frustration is a signal that reality is not meeting your expectations. Adjust your expectations, and the frustration will disappear immediately. Emotional discipline allows you to operate at peak efficiency, unburdened by the heavy baggage of anxiety and useless worry. It gives you a clarity of vision that others lack, allowing you to see opportunities where others only see problems. Be the eye of the storm. Let the winds howl around you, but keep your center calm, clear, and perfectly still. When you master emotional discipline, you become dangerous because you can no longer be manipulated by fear or by guilt. The fifth habit is detachment from validation, a liberating shift that frees you from the prison of other people's opinions. We live in a validation economy where men beg for likes and approval like beggars pleading for coins on the street. A king does not seek the approval of his subjects to rule, and you must not seek validation to exist. High value comes from an internal scorecard. You judge yourself by your own standards, not by the applause of the crowd. Develop an internal compass. Know who you are and what you stand for, so you do not need external confirmation. When you stop trying to impress others, you actually become more impressive because you radiate authenticity and true self-confidence. Detachment means you are okay if they like you, and you are okay if they do not. Your value remains unchanged. Praise and blame are two sides of the same coin. If you accept one, you must be willing to accept the other. The Stoic cares only about his own character and his own actions, things that are within his control, ignoring the rest. Do good not for the applause, but because it is the right thing to do. Let virtue be its own reward. Like a tree in a deep forest, grow strong and tall for your own sake, regardless of whether anyone is watching you. It takes courage to stand alone, but the high-value man prefers solitude with integrity over popularity, with compromise and fake smiles. Let them talk. Their words are merely wind, but your character is the mountain that remains long after the wind dies. The only approval you need is the one that stares back at you in the mirror at the end of the day. The sixth and final habit is radical responsibility, the ultimate trait that separates the boys from the grown, high-value men. To be high value is to accept total ownership of your life, your circumstances, your failures, and your future outcomes. When you blame others, you give away your power, but when you take responsibility, you reclaim the authority to change things. You are the captain of your soul. If the ship hits the rocks, it is your fault and your duty to fix it. Stop playing the victim. The world owes you nothing, and complaining about unfairness is a waste of your precious energy. Embrace the burden of responsibility, for it builds strong shoulders and a spine of steel that commands respect from others. A high-value man takes responsibility, not just for himself, but for his family, his community, and his team's performance. Own your past mistakes. Do not hide them, but use them as stepping stones to climb higher towards your potential. If you are not where you want to be, admit it. Analyze why, and take massive action to correct the course. Radical responsibility eliminates excuses. It leaves you naked before the truth, which is the only place where real growth happens. When you succeed, you will know it was your effort. This ownership makes the victory taste sweeter than any handed to you. Take the wheel of your life. Do not be a passenger in your own story. Be the author and the hero. This habit is the ultimate freedom, for when you are responsible for everything, you have the power to change anything. Emotional sovereignty, ruthless discipline, silent purpose, emotional discipline, detachment from validation, and radical responsibility. These are your tools. Integrating these habits will not be easy. It requires a daily war against your weaker impulses and your old identity. But remember, the statue is already inside the stone. You just need to chip away the pieces that do not belong. Visualize the man you want to become, the high-value Stoic who commands respect without saying a word, and be him. The path is open before you, but you must take the first step and commit to walking it every single day. Let your inner fire burn away the mediocrity. Refuse to settle for an average life when greatness is within your reach. Do not wait for the perfect moment, for it will never come. The only moment you have is now, so act. Time is your most precious resource. Do not waste another second seeking approval or complaining about things you cannot control. Surround yourself with other men who are on this path, for iron sharpens iron, and one man sharpens another. Fly high above the noise of the world, maintain your altitude through discipline, and let nothing drag you down into the mud. Wisdom is the weapon of the Stoic. Keep sharpening your mind with knowledge and application, never ceasing to learn and grow. Be flexible in your methods, but rigid in your principles. Adapt to the changing world without losing your core values. I challenge you to pick one of these habits today and master it before moving on to the next one. Write it down, commit to it, and do not let yourself off the hook when it gets hard, because it will. The pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. Choose your burden wisely while you still can. At the end of your life, you will not be remembered for what you owned, but for who you were as a man. Build a legacy of strength and character that will outlast you, inspiring those who come after you to be better. Pass this wisdom on. A high-value man uplifts his community and sets a standard for the next generation to follow. Be the light in a darkening world. Show others that it is possible to live with dignity, honor, and self-control. Find peace in your own strength. There is no greater feeling than knowing you are the master of your own fate. We are but a speck in the universe, but we have the capacity to contain the whole world within our minds. Wake up from the slumber of mediocrity. Your potential is waiting for you to claim it through the power of Stoic discipline. Go forth and conquer yourself, for that is the only conquest that truly matters in the grand scheme of your life. Life is a game of strategy. Play it with the wisdom of the ancients and the focus of a modern warrior. Feel the power of your own existence. You are here for a purpose, so do not let your life drift away. Hold fast to these principles. Let them be the anchor that keeps you steady when the storms of life try to break you. If this message resonated with you, you are ready to walk the path of the Stoic and reclaim your inner power. Thank you for watching Stoic Inner Power. Subscribe now to join our brotherhood and never miss a lesson in mastery.